Hello everybody, my name is Richard Vigorelli, and this is the Vigorelli Institute. Now, I want to show you some stuff here. Okay, yes, I am most definitely on location. And this is, I guess, part 2? No, well, I guess intro would be part 1, wouldn't it? Yeah, this is part 2. So, let's tell some ghost stories, shall we? So, I'm going to have me a little bit of a seat, let you know where I am. I am in a historical park. Okay, this is called Oaklands. It is an old plantation and mansion. The mansion is still there. Farm fields are gone. Those are it's a housing development now. But the main estate, which is what I'm on right now, is still a thing. It's federal land, and it is protected for historical value. If crazy people get a hold of it, that may change. Just FYI. Okay? So, here's what happened here. See, I am in southeast section of Murfreesboro. There's a college right about that way. It's called MTSU. It's where my nieces went to, well, one niece went there. She got a very nice degree. I've been to the campus. It's absolutely gorgeous. Okay? Kind of one step above community college. It's nice. Maybe 2 steps. Yeah. Anywho. What happened here was this was part of the Battle of Murfreesboro. Okay? And the house that I'm going to be walking by and showing you where I encountered some stuff, well, that held a Confederate sympathetic family. And they were under siege by Union soldiers. Okay? Now, they were then put under siege themselves by Confederate soldiers. A firefight broke out, and we're about to walk that. Okay? The guy that led the Confederate soldiers was Nathan Bedford Forrest. If you know much about history, he was not a nice person. Okay? So, let's go for a walk, shall we? Alright. Seriously. Another plane. My fault, really. Okay, let's go. Alright. So, here we are. It is 2nd day of September of 22 here. I actually really like this place. Okay. Here is the front lawn. Yeah. Okay. Now that little building you see over there, that is the old slave house. Yes, where people that were in servile bondage were kept. Okay. Now, as we walk along here, now this pathway was laid down, this is actually pretty recent, I'd say within the last 40, maybe 50 years. Okay, lots of trees, probably not here at the time. I'm willing to bet this was very, very open. And see right over there, that's the old carriageway. That's where you would have actually come in. Okay, alright, here's the Oaklands Mansion. Little note thing, and this is kind of where I saw something. I'll give you a minute to look here. Okay, July 13, 1862. Union General Thomas Crittenden's force at Murfreesboro was separated into 3 detachments. Colonel William Duffield, 9th Michigan, yada, yada, yada. Okay, and they split, went into Battle of Stones River, which is something that I showed you guys before. Okay, now those are the major players here. This is the guy, that was Union, he's Confederacy. Okay, also not a nice person. Okay, mid-December, President Jefferson Davis, aside from Stephen Lee, stayed here. Davis reviewed Confederate troops and that they were fine and well supplied. Okay, Irving Cemetery, yada yada yada. Okay, there is the path that was taken. Okay, and I work here. Let's go ahead and keep walking, guys. Alright. So, I have been here almost a year. I'm a month and a couple of days off of my year mark. My year mark will be October 12th. And today is September 2 as I'm recording this. Okay, still looks like summer. A little bit of fall starting to sneak in, but, well, that's what happens. Okay, now, that's the big house, as it is often called. That is the actual mansion that the family that owned this place had. Now, that building over there was built later. Okay, that's the outpost for the people that run the place now. Okay, so walking along here, we're going to go over to the carriageway. Okay, now this would have been about, I'd say, the mid to the rear lines of the Confederate group that was here. Okay, under General Forrest. Okay, and it was right about here that I encountered someone. Okay, I was walking along, just kind of sniffing around. I would say late October, early November is when I was here. So most of the green did not exist as you're looking. Okay, what happened? Come here. Happened was I was walking along, just kind of looking, and this kid walked up to me. Okay, he could have been any older than 19. Okay, at the absolute oldest, and he was dressed in gray slacks and a white shirt. Okay, I guess you could call it a t-shirt. Not really though, because it was kind of sort of long sleeved, a little bit of a button up top, but he was also barefoot. Okay, and his clothes were a little bit on the ragged side, kind of dirty. And he said, "Hey, can you help me?" Said, "Yeah, what do you need?" Well, I looked at him. I got a good look at him. He was covered in blood all down his left side. Okay, so that was telling. And as I looked a little bit closer at him, he was not exactly opaque. Okay, well, I said to him, "You're dead, bud." He said, "I am?" "Yeah, you died a while ago." "Do you know what year it is?" He said, 1862. He said, No. It's 2021. Okay, this was last year. Okay. And he said, that can't be. I said, "It is, bud." Okay. "Well, what do I do?" I said, "Well, what I want you to do is I want you to go into the light." Okay. That's how you cross them. Okay. The light's kind of ubiquitous. Light's always a good thing. Very, very few cultures espouse darkness. Okay. So I said to him, "Just go into the light." He said, "Well, which light?" And I said, "Any of them. Pick the bright one." Okay. Any of them, but the bright one's going to be the best one. Okay. As I watched, he disappeared into a kind of soft flash of light, and he was gone. Okay. Now I'm doing kind of pans here, just to, see if anything comes out. Okay. I doubt it, as the conditions really aren't right for it. Okay. If we were a little bit darker, we'd probably see a lot, but not gonna happen. I highly doubt it. Okay. Now I'm making my way over to the actual carriageway. Okay. Looks like we got some gophers. They do that. Okay. All right there, that is the actual entrance. Okay. So if back in the day when this was an actual house, okay, you would have come in through there with your carriage or your horse or whatever, trotted up through here, then boom, right over to the house. Okay. Now, back then, if you wanted to say hello, okay, you had to, there was actually a protocol that you had to go through. Okay. Now, if you didn't know that protocol, it made it a lot more difficult to get in. I'll show you. Okay. So we're just going to truck along right over here. Okay. Notice how it says keep right. You had to do that back then too. However, it was kind of an unwritten thing. Okay, so you'd be on your horse or your buggy or whatever it is, and you'd come up this way. Meanwhile, someone called the steward or mistress or whoever runs the front of the house, whether they be employed or otherwise, would greet you if they knew you were there. Okay, I'll show you. So we're coming up here. Quite the manor, I know. Okay. Come up. You can see the quarters. You can see everything else. There also would have been a lot more of those because that's not enough for a place this size. Okay. By the way, it was a despicable practice. I'm glad it's over. Okay. So what you do is you come right here. You'd park either right here, or you would come up, depending on your social station. You could potentially park right here. Okay. Now, if you were on a horse, someone would come around, and they would actually have your horse taken around to the stables while you went in and did whatever it is you were going to do there. Okay. Now, you'd walk up here. Okay. Just like so. And if nobody had greeted you, you'd come up to the front door. Okay. You would knock or ring the bell. And the front of the house boss would come over and say, "Hello, may I help you?" You would announce yourself as, "Hi, my name's Richard Vigorelli. The master is expecting me." And if you were not a known dignitary, here's what happened to you. Okay, especially at a plantation. Okay, like this. And this is true also up at a place called the Hermitage. You'd come over to here. You'd say, "Please come around to the side door," which is right over here. Let me turn my, there we go. Okay, and he would receive you here. Okay, you would not be permitted to enter the main door. Okay, because your social station did not permit that. Instead, the only people allowed to enter the main door are, one, the people who lived there and who were permitted, even if they lived there, to enter that. So certain people in servitude would not be allowed in. Okay, here's another side door that they'd probably send you to. This would most likely be a very, very common man door. Look at the steps. See? Not exactly spectacular. Okay? And that is the house of the guy who runs the place now. Look at that. Okay? And here's the out. Here's the back end. They host parties here. It's awesome. Okay? So, lots of rules in this part of the world way back when. Okay? The only people that, again, would be allowed inside the front door are people of high social status. Definitely those of higher social status than the person who owns the house, but also those of comparable social status. Okay? You would have to be landed gentry, at very least. Okay? So, that shows you this. Now, let's walk over here and get away from prying ears, shall we? Let's just go ahead and look. Okay, go ahead and check that out. Here's called Magnolia, I think. Okay. Alright, so. This is a good spot. Alright. So when I went to another of the battlefield sites, let's have a seat. See? Right there. stone bench. Very nice. I went to the McMinnville Farm. That was back in, oh goodness, maybe second week November. It was like right after I did this one. Okay. And remember how we're walking around that bit there, and I'm saying, you know, trying to goose a haunt and all that? That is because I had encountered quite a few ghosts there. Okay, they were all Confederate soldiers. No Union was there at all. Only Confederate. It was because the Confederate were the ones that died. Okay, and 1,800 of them died in just a few minutes. Gets pretty nasty. So let's go ahead and move along. Okay. Now, one of those ghosts, the biggest one of all, the one that sticks out with me, I'm rounding that first bend, okay, right where my frame rate drops on that video, and this guy popped out of the forest that was to my right, okay, and he is huge. I'd say 6'2", minimum, okay, big bushy red beard, Confederate winter uniform. So he's wearing a cloak, and he's got a rifle in his hand, okay, with a bayonet attached. Okay. He calls me an effing N-word and stabs me right here, right in the chest. Okay, just above my heart. Okay. I felt it go in. Swear, okay? I swear on the Styx, and if you know anything about Greek mythology, what I just told you is hope to die, be sent to hell. If I'm lying, okay? I felt it go in. It hurt. I could actually feel the iron, okay? And I didn't fall over. He was very, very confused, okay? So I reach over, like so. Grab, boom, I could feel the rifle in my hand. I pulled it out, threw it on the ground. I looked at him and I said, "You're dead, dumbass." Okay? Now, remember in my last video when I said every now and again when you try to cross them over, they get a little bit non-compliant? Yeah, he's what we call a non-compliant. So I had to exercise slightly more intense means to get him to cross over, okay? And I'm actually very, very glad that I did that, okay? Now, this, of course, woke up a few dozen others, okay? They started coming after me. One guy pushed me. I was getting yelled at, okay? I could full on hear everything that they were saying. They were very, very unhappy young gentlemen, okay? So I employed the exact same technique, and you don't need to know what that technique is, okay? But I crossed all of them over, okay? And they are right now in whatever part of the spirit world they're in. If they are in what Christians would call heaven, or paradise for that matter, then I hope they are getting the help that they richly need and deserve, okay? So we can clean up their souls. Otherwise, well, there we are. Okay, all right. So here's another thing I want to show you guys. Okay, this is actually kind of neat. I'm going to turn you. Okay, all right. You see that little wire thing over there? Okay. That is called an open cistern. Okay. There's other names for it. That is actually built right on top of a natural spring, okay? That's why this area was selected to be a plantation way back when, okay? Because they had easy access to clean water, okay? This is the Manny Spring, okay? See the sign right there, okay? And yes, this is, I guess, fine to drink from. I probably wouldn't, but, you know, just looking at it, looks pretty clean. I bet you there's some stuff in it. You may want to boil it, but that's me. Okay, bit swampy. Okay. See, probably going to get chiggers, big deal. Okay, it's a natural location, spring house, natural refrigerator, wetlands, Oaklands. Okay, I'll go ahead and hand that, and you can read it on your own time. There you go. Okay, feel free to pause if you need. All right. If you're ever here in Tennessee and you're a bit of a Civil War buff, or you like history like that, like seeing how people lived way back when for whatever reasons, I do recommend this location. There we go. Okay. I actually really like it. Okay, despite its history. Okay. I think the area is beautiful. It does belay a very dark past, mind you, but, well, there we are. Okay. I wish I could go in and show you guys the house, but, you know, you can go in on your own. So, I will be back later with another ghost story bit. I'll probably film that in Nashville, because that's kind of where those ones happened. And I'll film some others that happened to me in Salt Lake back in my office. Okay? So, if you're new to the channel, hit that big red subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know, and feel free to leave a comment about any ghost stories you have. You know, 'tis the season after all. Yeah, it's September 2nd, but October's a month away. That's Halloween month, baby. Come on, let's dive in. Okay? Feel free to leave any. And we'll go ahead and strike up a conversation on that. My. Okay. If you are into reading, I do have books that I am in process of writing and have been written. My very first novel is going to be having a second edition release in the next couple of months. I'm also going to be releasing a bestiary that goes along with that, and an alternate history book. And hopefully, summer of next year, I was hoping spring, but it's looking summer, I'm going to be releasing my second book, most likely. God, I hope. Okay? So, those will all be available those are available for purchase, will be available for purchase. You get the idea. There is merchandise. Feel free to visit my websites. The links will be in the doobly-doo, and we will go from there. Okay, guys? Take care. Bye-bye.